Good afternoon, everybody. Bon après-midi, tout le monde. Welcome to the Scrum with Green Party Leader Annamie Paul and Green MP for Nanaimo, Ladysmith, Paul Manley. Bonjour à tout le monde. Bienvenue à le Scrum de l'après-midi avec la chef du Parti Vert, Annamie Paul, puis le député pour Nanaimo, Ladysmith, Paul Manley.
Hello everyone and bonjour tout le monde. Merci d'être ici avec nous cet après-midi. Today, if you see that I'm smiling, it's because today is a victory. Today is a day that the Green Party has worked very hard for, that many advocates have worked very hard for. It's a day that feels like it was a very long time coming, and we are just so happy to see it here. Just to provide a little bit of context, today the government announced that they were reversing their decision to claw back Canada Emergency Response Benefit payments that they had made to self-employed people who had made less than $5,000 net in the previous 12 months. This seems like a simple thing, but it is something that is just a game changer and a lifesaver and an anxiety reducer for so many people across the country who have been living under the cloud and the worry of having to repay a benefit that they applied for in good faith and had been told they would need to repay. And so the Green Party of Canada, we're feeling very, very proud today. You know, our chests are a little pushed out because we feel so proud in the part that we played, ringing the alarm on the clawback. Paul Manley, who is here today, and Jenica Atwin, our MPs, they rang the alarm bell. Their constituents came to them, and they told us that this was a big problem and a big concern to the people in their community. And ever since then, we have just been persisting in our advocacy. We've been persisting in offering a platform to the recipients who have been most affected and to the advocates. And our request was always very simple, which was just that the government admit the mistake and then fix it. That's it. Admit the mistake and fix it. And Paul will tell you some more about the things that we've done, but it's just wonderful news that the mistake was admitted and it has now finally been fixed. And so we're very happy to see this just result. I want to congratulate the bravery and the courage of the CERB advocates and recipients who came forward, because that is not an easy thing to do. There's a lot of stigma that's attached to receiving benefits, unfortunately. And so to step forward and to say that this wasn't fair took a lot of courage. And I want to congratulate them on that and to tell them that it made all the difference. And I also want to thank the Union of Tax Employees also, who stepped forward and blew the whistle. And that was a critical step, I believe, in having the government admit the mistake. And that was and that brought us to the road to the result today. So we are so proud to have stood alongside all of these people for all of these months. And it's the kind of thing that we will continue to do as a party. We are not going to let go on these kind of issues. We are going to stand up. We are going to make sure that the promise to do whatever it takes for as long as it takes is fulfilled. That is our commitment during this pandemic. And I want this to be an example of how we are delivering on that day in and day out. As my final reflection, I would just say that this is the right result, but it should not have taken this much, and it should not have taken this long. And so as we continue to navigate the waters of the pandemic, I want to make sure that the next time one of these issues comes up, whether with respect to benefit payments or any of the other programs that have been rolled out during the pandemic, that it is easier for people in Canada to get the help and relief that they need and deserve at this time. Alors en français, aujourd'hui c'est une célébration parce que finalement le gouvernement a reconnu son erreur et ils l'ont corrigé. Après des mois de militance de notre part, de part des avocats de part des militants et militantes, le gouvernement a annoncé aujourd'hui qui n'auraient pas, ils n'auraient pas, ils ne demanderaient pas un repaiement du PCU des personnes qui ont bénéficié avec une revenu plus faible que $5 000 net les derniers 12 mois. Alors, maintenant, c'est calculé par c'est calculé d'une nouvelle manière, d'une manière correcte. Et nous sommes tellement fiers. Nous sommes fiers parce que Paul Manley et Jenica Atwin, nos députés, ils ont sonné l'alarme. Nous avons continué à militer. Et maintenant, on voit un résultat équitable, un résultat juste. Je veux remercier les militants et militantes et aussi le syndicat qui ont milité pour un bon résultat. C'était vraiment un portrait de courage et je le remercie. Et nous sommes très fiers d'avoir participé et milité avec eux pour ce résultat. Pendant la pandémie, nous allons continuer à faire tout ce qu'il faut pour protéger les Canadiens, les Canadiennes, tout ce qu'il faut pour représenter tous les peuples au Canada et assurer qu'il n'y a personne qui tombe dans les lacunes. Et avec ça, juste pour souligner une dernière réflexion, c'est le bon résultat, mais ça traîne. Ça ne devrait pas prendre autant de temps pour avoir un résultat juste. Et j'espère dans les prochains mois, et pendant qu'on continue de naviguer la pandémie, que ça va être plus facile pour les gens d'être assurés qu'ils recevront ce qu'ils méritent et ce qu'ils ont besoin pour assurer que tout le monde sort de meilleure manière de la pandémie au final. Et avec ça, je le passe maintenant à Paul Manley. Paul?
Well, thank you so much, Annamie. This is a really good day for so many of my constituents and for hundreds of thousands of Canadians across this country who received letters from the CRA saying that they might have to pay back the CERB. And we started to get a flood of these emails, calls into the office in early December from people who were really stressed out about this. People, who for whatever reason had earned less in 2019, who might have been on maternity leave, some people who had been away sick from work and are self-employed, had medical leave from their own self-employment, people who had taken time off to take care of a loved one. And so they had less income in 2019 than they normally had. Some people who had shifted a business model, and they applied in good faith based on the rules that they saw. And the CERB Act did not define self-employment. It did not mention expenses. It did not talk about, the difference between gross and net income. The finance minister called and said that anybody who had revenue over $5,000 from self-employment would be eligible. And revenue is a business term, meaning your gross income. The CRA agents were given information that they were confused about. So they confused people calling. Even Liberal MPs were giving their constituents the wrong information. And so clearly there was a lot of confusion and people got caught up in this. We immediately took action. We wrote to the Prime Minister December 5th and to the ministers responsible for the CERB. We asked them to take action. We put out a press release. I asked a question as soon as I could on December 11th. We had press conferences on this. We kept bringing it to the attention of the government. We launched a petition on Christmas Eve, and I tabled that petition at the earliest opportunity as soon as it was certified on January 27th. And I also got up and debated over my question on January 27th as well to continue to pressure the government. And Annamie, you've done a wonderful job of keeping the pressure on this issue and standing up for Canadians who deserve the support from the government during this pandemic. We expect people to stay at home and to shelter in place so that we don't spread COVID-19. We need to take care of Canadians who are doing that. We must work for Canadians to ensure that they are respected by the system and taken care of by all of us. It's really important that we stand together and work together during this time. And so I'm really proud of the work that we've done, and really proud of the stand that you've taken, Annamie, and pushing this as hard as you can with the MPs.
Well, congratulations to you, Paul. Again, these are the days that make it all worthwhile. And I know how hard you and our MPs work. It's a lot, and you don't always see the light at the end of the tunnel, but this is certainly one of those moments. More than anything, I'm just thrilled for the people who will sleep just a little bit better tonight and have just a little bit less anxiety because of this decision. And that really is, as you said, what it's all about. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your work, for your advocacy, your tireless advocacy on this, and for again being the first one out there in our parliament to sound the alarm on this. Thank you so much. Et avec ça, s'il y a des questions, if there are any questions, we'd be happy to take them.
Thank you. We will begin with questions. One question, one follow-up. Nous allons commencer avec les questions du média. Une question, un suivi. Si vous voulez demander une question, s'il vous plaît, utilisez la fonction de lever la main. Please use the raised hand feature if you want to ask a question. No questions? Pas de questions? So this will conclude this scrum. Ceci conclut la conférence de presse de cet après-midi. Thank you, everyone. Merci à tout le monde.
Merci beaucoup. Thank you.